Hi, this is Nick in 3WG, and in this video we're going to be looking at the PigKnob straight out of the box. So this is the white box that it ships in. If we open this up, there's two pink plastic bags here, one with just the knob in it, and the other one has the satellite interface connector board, the power cable, and then the 6-conductor ribbon cable. I'm not going to open this bag up. I have all these components sitting next to me. So the power cable comes with 10 leads. It doesn't have power poles on it like mine does here. And the cable, the wire with the white marking on it that you can see there, the top one, is positive. So that will connect to your red terminal on your power supply. The other end is just a standard barrel connector. Alright, the other cable, the ribbon cable, is a standard 6-conductor, 6P, 6C phone connector. Just using a ribbon cable between them instead of the silver satin. And then the other thing in the bag is this satellite interface board. It has two serial ports, one female, one male. The power jack is in the middle. And the input voltage range on the power jack is from around 7 volts minimum to 14 volts maximum. And then the RJ12 connector here to connect to the knob. So the female jack would go to your computer and the male jack would go to the radio. The cable to connect this interface to your radio is not provided. That's just because so many radios have different connectors for their serial interface. So that cable is not provided. If it's a K3, you can use a standard straight through serial cable. If it's a KX3, which is what I'll be demoing here, I'm going to use the KX SER cable from Elecraft to connect the two. So let's get everything hooked up here. I'm going to turn the radio on, running off batteries here, and the first thing I need to do is verify that the baud rate is set correctly. So if I go into the menu and go to the RS-232 menu setting, I have it set to 38400 baud, which is the default baud rate of the knob. So that needs to match from the radio to this knob's interface right here. So let's connect the radio to accessory 1, the power cable. We'll plug in here. The 6-conductor ribbon, and then the knob. I'll take this one out of its bag. The knob just has the one connector on the back, so plug it in there. And when we do that, the light on the front will come on. So there's the light. So we're up and running now. And if I spin the knob, you can see the radio going up or down. And if I push the knob, it'll go into fast tuning mode. So then when I spin the knob, it's going by 1 kilohertz increments up or down. And then the buttons on the front, as it ships, each one of these buttons is a frequency and mode memory. 1 and 2 are 20 meters, 3 and 4 are 7 meters, etc. So you just press those buttons and it'll change the radio to what they're configured for. All those buttons are configurable. So the second half of this video is going to show you how to connect your computer to this interface and actually configure the knob so you can change what these buttons do. So that's how you connect the knob to the radio and start using it straight out of the box. One thing I didn't mention, let me cover real quick. There's a jumper on this board here. This is to loop CTS and RTS pins 7 and 8 back here. It ships not shorted, so it should only be needed with certain radios that require hardware flow control. So that was Kenwood so far. They're the only ones I found. Don't use this jumper with the Elecraft K2 at all. No caveats, don't do it. The radio will smoke. That's simply because the K2 does not have a standard RS-232 pinout. So don't use this jumper unless your manual says you need flow control. And that's also mentioned in the PigKnob user guide. Alright, I'm going to pause the video and show you how to configure the knob. Okay, now I have the computer connected here. So this serial cable is going to this USB serial adapter, which is then going into the computer right here. And I'm going to start up my terminal emulator. I prefer Putty. I'm sorry, not Putty, Terraterm. So let me open up Terraterm here and zoom in on that. Okay, now if I come in here and do File, New Connection, I'm already connected to COM1, we can see that up here. So if I do Setup Serial Port, and we need to set this to the right baud rate, the same as the knob. And if I unplug the knob and plug it back in, we can see there PigKnob version 1.0, press $sign to enter config mode. So let me do that. Let me press $sign here, and we're in command mode. So there's several commands available here. I can press P. P is going to print the current list of saved commands. So we can see that button 1 will send FA 14 megahertz mode 2, B2 will go to 20 meters CW. So these are all those memories I was talking about earlier. And then down at the bottom, CW, FCW, CC, and FCC, those are the knobs, the knob commands. So it's clockwise, fast counterclockwise, counterclockwise, and fast counterclockwise. So all of these are configurable. And if you need to know the command that you need to send to set one of these, you can press H for help, and that will print out all of the help information. And this is all in the documentation as well. So if we wanted to change a button command, for example button 1, we can set that with B1 space and then the text of the actual macro. So let's do that now. I'm going to set it to send some CW. So I'm going to enter the command, let's say B1 mode 3 colon KY hello semicolon, and it says set B1 command. Now if I do print, we can see there that our B1 command is mode 3 KY hello. And now if I press the button, and the radio was in upper sideband mode, so it switched to CW and it sent hello. So that's reconfiguring the buttons. It's the same for the clockwise and counterclockwise motions. If we look at the help here, we can see that the command to change the knob macros is here. It's just clockwise text, fast counterclockwise text. The fast mode is when you press that switch on top, so it's either on or off, and then it's pretty easy to tell which mode you're in when you spin the knob. So that's about it. That's how you initially take it out of the box and control your radio, and then how to configure it to change the macros that get sent when you press the buttons. If for whatever reason you ever need to reset this to factory defaults, if you can get to this command mode here, and if you run the command FR all in uppercase, then it'll reset it and it'll reconfigure EEPROM to factory defaults. The other option for that is to hold down button 1 when you apply power, and whenever you do that, it'll tell you in the terminal there that it's doing it. So I can give you an example of that here. Alright, the knob is unplugged right now, and if I hold down the button, I'm holding down button 1 right now, and I plug it in. See how it says resetting configuration? It's going to stay here until I release it, as I did right there. So it loaded the default contents of EEPROM and changed the baud back to 38400. So if you can't get to the terminal at all, just hold down button 1 when you plug it in, and it'll be reset to 38400. So that's PigKnob, straight out of the box, and configuring and using it with the radio. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.